Just a minute tonight. I'm Trey Hall, principal of Wright Elementary School. I just wanted to show you how to set up your school dismissal manager. So if you had any questions, you could watch this video and it kind of walk you through it, how to utilize the program. This program allows us to track instantaneously all the students in our school and how they're getting home, and it automatically routes the right messages to the right teachers without our staff having to send notes. What we found in the past is sometimes those notes get misplaced when it gets busy in the office, and it also your child might not be ready to go home the way you would have them to go home that you've notified us because we've misplaced a note. So the first thing you should do is just log in to your email system. My email system is Gmail, and I've got it was from Wright Elementary School entitled Important Announcement About Your Child's Dismissal Instructions. Just click on that. You'll see it's a parent announcement from School Dismissal Manager. Down here it says Get Started Today. There's also some valuable information that talks about School Dismissal Manager. School Dismissal Manager is also an app for your iPhone on the iTunes store. Just go and look for School Dismissal Manager, or you could also download it for an Android device on Google Play by searching School Dismissal Manager. You'll see the logo right here on those applications, and you'll log in largely the same. So the first thing you would do is you just click right here. This would be your email under username. The email that I've set up for my sample student is bwestudent123@gmail.com, and the password the system sent me was 99100. So I would just simply click right here to log in and set up the password. That will take me to the parent login of School Dismissal Manager. You'll see the faces here in School Dismissal Manager. You can also click here for an online demo. Remembering my password was, my email was bwestudent123@gmail.com. I'm just going to copy that, drop that in here as the username, and then I'm going to look back over there for my password, and that's a temporary password, and it's 99100. I would simply type that in and then hit login. That's going to ask me to enter a new password. Keep in mind, when you're entering a new password, passwords must be at least 8 characters and must contain at least one numeral and one of the extended characters shown here. So you want to make sure you comply to that. I've already got some other things stored, and yours will not show these items here. Once you've entered your password, just set password, and we'll take you right to Dismissal Manager. What you'll see here is a calendar for the upcoming 2 weeks for dismissal. There are a few things you should note. You can go home here and it takes you here. If you're a Spanish-speaking parent, you can click Espanol and it will translate everything on the screen to Spanish. Also, parent preferences and student default is here. So if I click on the student default, it's going to show me my password, it's going to show me my email, what is my language preference, and then it's going to ask me, John Sample is my sample student. It's going to ask me how I normally want him to get home. So if John rides the bus, I would just click here and I would pick his bus. And that would be the normal way that John gets home. If John is a car rider, you might scroll down and look for the car riders. If he's a Blue Zone car rider, that's the front dismissal line. And if he goes to Kids Unite, you might select that. For this one, I'm just going to click Blue Zone car rider. And then on days that you might want to make an exception, you could say he could ride home with another parent or another guardian. Say if grandma's picking him up, you could put grandma's name here. As long as she had the card with the dismissal number, she could get the child from the Blue Zone car rider line. If he was riding home with another child to say go to a birthday party, you could search for that parent here and enter that parent. Once you've done that, you click Update Information and it shows update as shown. So you've got all that set. That's the first thing you should do. How does your child normally get home? And then when you're done with that, click Done. Over here, there's recurring dismissal instructions. You can type, you can select John, and you can say every Monday John goes to Maverick for gymnastics, or every Wednesday John goes to Maverick for gymnastics. You can just set different days of the week if you know they're different. Let's say every Monday, John goes home with Grandma. You can set that using this recurring dismissal instruction. You can tell it what date to start it. You can tell it what date to end it. So if things change and you want to set those defaults, you can do that from this screen. Also, there's also a help button here. You can click help and send an email. There's also a link here you can click to get the parent guide. This email would ask me any question you'd have about Dismissal Manager, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, under Getting Started, that would pull up the Getting Started Parent Quick Reference Guide for you to take a look at there as well. Otherwise, you have an option over here to send confirmation email. What this does is says no, you don't want it. Sometimes parents would like to make sure that School Dismissal Manager logged their changes, so they would put yes, and anytime you change something, it's going to send you an email telling you that you've logged that change. So if we wanted to send John home on tomorrow's Tuesday, he's going to be a Blue Zone car rider the normal way. Mom's going to pick him up, but on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, you decide, Mom's going to be an appointment, so we're going to have to change his dismissal time. John also has a bus assigned to him, or John's going to go to a daycare. I would just click on that day, and then I could choose the dismissal instruction here. Let's say he goes to his kid's First Baptist daycare in case Mom can't do anything, and you've already set that up with them. And you could also put a note for today only, and you could update the schedule change. Once you did that, it would give you the green showing you that it's been updated to his kid's daycare. Keep in mind, if you choose any of these daycares, you have to have an arrangement with them already before those students can be put on those daycare buses. You would click done, and that changes him to go home by his kids. What happens is when you do this at 2:25, at 2:20 we turn off your ability to access this screen, and you have to call the school. But what this effectively does is at 2:25, when our reports process, it sends all the reports to all the teachers and the staff in the building, and the dismissal staff and the administration and everyone in the building, that John, it needs to be loaded on his kid's First Baptist daycare bus. Then you could go back to the regular Blue Zone car rider. You can click down here for future dates. Say you have recurring doctor's appointments, you can click on them. You can go forward here or backwards here. You can say you have a doctor's appointment on the 22nd. You could choose early dismissal if he was going to be needing to be released early. And you could also choose, John's just going to be absent for the doctor's appointment, and then it would ask you for the reason for the absence. He has a doctor's appointment at 9:30, and he is not expected back at school on this day. What this does when it becomes dismissal time, this will send a message to John's teacher, to the administration, and everyone. If he's a bus rider, it tells the bus attendant that as we load the bus, we shouldn't expect John to be on that bus, and it allows us to carefully track where John should and shouldn't be based on what your wishes are. Keep in mind that School Dismissal Manager is a great tool. You don't have to call the school. You can simply set up the dismissal how you want it, change dismissals. But remember, changes for today's dismissal, they are allowed until 2:20 p.m. of the day of the change. After 2:20 p.m., it is required that you phone the school to change John's dismissal, and we do not accept any dismissal changes after 3 o'clock p.m. as we prepare to start dismissal at 3:20. Thanks for being patient with us. I hope this tutorial helps you better understand how School Dismissal Manager can help you communicate with school and can help you avoid having to punch all the buttons on the phone, and hope that the note gets there. And if you're sending a note with John, most certainly hope that the note gets there. This eliminates all of that, and it fully automates all of our dismissal procedures so that we can keep our children more safe and have a more effective, efficient, and quick dismissal. Thanks for your time.